Hi everyone, welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show, and it's time for our morning discussion. But first, we want to share some good news with you as a mental health break seems to have done the trick for champion gymnast Simone Biles.
The four-time Olympic gold medal winner returned to the competition spectrum after a 2-year hiatus to claim first place at the Core Hydration Classic in 2023.
The last time we saw Biles compete at a major event was at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, when she withdrew from the competition due to a mental health crisis. The backlash, however, was quite harsh.
In an interview at the time, Biles said that she always had anxiety, but that it got really bad in the months leading up to the Olympics. She said that she was overwhelmed before her first event in Tokyo. Biles also said she felt immense stress as a world-class athlete.
Biles is a part of a growing list of prominent athletes who say mental health should be prioritized in sports. Among them is Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. He admitted that he struggled with depression himself, along with anxiety and suicidal thoughts.
Now, with that said, to find out how athletes dealing with mental health challenge, we're right here in our studio. We already have our sports psychologist, Dian Wisnuwardhani. Dian, thank you very much for being here with us.
Morning.
Good morning. Looking very nice and popping with your pink color there. But it's just only a question though. If we're talking about an athlete, usually people always think, well, you have, the best diet, you have the best physique, you should have the best.
You have a lot of money.
Health.
You're a professional.
Exactly, they pay you a lot. So why are you having mental health break, or would you have, a mental problem?
What issues are they facing?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, athletes, they have like everyday routine that was like in the morning, 4 a.m. they have to wake up, and then they have to do some exercise every day, and dealing with the social media, the people that say to them, what should they do, what should they practice,
Critics.
everything, and then also with the coach, and also with the family, and also with the team. So usually the athlete has their own mental, because they need to be more confident and to know that they have the goal, and they have to stick with the commitment why they are there, and when they have to do something and decide that they want to win or they want to lose is in his or her brain, and her heart or his heart. Yeah.
Okay, so, a lot of things that you mentioned, especially when it comes to things like social media, that didn't exist back in the day. Like, a lot of, I remember me growing up as a child watching sports. There was no way you can talk to your athlete that you love to watch on television. Nowadays, even if you want to say something to LeBron James, who knows if he'll read it, but you can send him a DM, or you can comment and mention this person. And some of the time, believe it or not, even though they get thousands of notifications, they do see some of these comments, and it does affect their mental health. But one of the things that I can say has been around for a long time is a winning mentality.
Yes.
So how much does winning mentality affect one's mental health? Because there is a lot of pressure. For example, an Olympic athlete, you only get to do this once every 4 years, so there's huge pressures for you to win. So how much does this affect their mental health?
Okay, how much is affect their mental health? Actually, becoming an athlete, they have to focus on what is their goal.
Yeah.
They have to have like a preparatory skills that we use in psychology of sport. One is the attitude, the positive attitude.
Okay.
They have to think about why they are there, and they have to see that they want to know what is the thought of the coach, and then they have to follow the instruction every coach taught to them. And then second is the motivation like the inner motivation. It's not from the outside motivation. It's like, I'm here because I want to do something for myself. Gold medal or anything is just the bonus, and I'm here because I really want to see my process and respect what I do in this process with my coach. That's it. And the third is how they see the goal. They see the goal. So medal is just like the bonus, but some athletes also have the pressure, like if they are coming from the lower social economy, they need the bonus, they need the medal,
That's right.
to taking care of the family.
Yeah.
But the athlete, they are coming from the middle or the higher social economy is more usually also have something like we see don't want to listen to the coach also.
Yes.
Like, because
Different mentality.
because they have like, I'm okay. If I didn't win, I still have money or something. So
Yeah.
it depends on how you maintain your attitude, your motivation, your goal setting, and then how you imagine about the winning situation.
It's true because different people are motivated by different things.
That's right.
But somebody who can be motivated just by simply, oh, I need to represent my country to the fullest because millions of people are actually banking on me to win this event.
Yeah, and it's great that you're also mentioning about attitude because especially for young athletes, we want you to also share how you handled these athletes because sometimes when you got a lot of privileges, let's say you win champions and then you get a lot of bonuses and you got a lot of friends and whatnot, it gets to your head, especially for the younger athletes.
Yeah.
How do you put them very grounded and for them to understand, well, you got all of this because of what you've done, being on the sports and also become a champion. Sometimes we see a lot of stories where they're very young and then they would do stuff
And it gets to their
out
head.
of control, that's right,
Yeah.
and then they cannot perform as well as they did before.
Actually, there's the pressure also because they are just a younger athlete, and then they are in the developmental psychology. Usually, also say that people with their age 70 until 21, they need to have their self-identity and also social identity, and the social identity coming from the people around them, talk about them, and they really like listen to those people and affect them. So I used to make a brain gym, give the brain gym technique to them, like this is your ear, you can focus like that, and this is your head, focus in this, and then this is your heart, you have to burn your heart to make your more concentration and something like that. And mindful breathing, I give it to them also, and some others like the positive strength in the right hand. Like what is the thing that you always remember when you go to the exercise with your coach? First, okay, I remember my girlfriend or my boyfriend. Okay, that's good. That's your social support. And then second, I already eat good today. Okay, good. I already pray. Okay, good. And what is the other else? My coach is good. Good communication today with me.
Okay.
And 5 is myself. Okay, so hold it like this and then say it to your heart and close your eyes and say that I'm good, I'm okay, everything will be just fine. Ha 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 ha, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Positive
To motivate.
reinforcements to
Yeah.
make
Yes.
them think about all the positive things they've accomplished in that day already.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, not all, unfortunately, not all positive motivations or attitudes can produce positive results. So you've actually handled athletes that have performed at international platforms such as SEA Games, and these are athletes that don't always win. So how do you help an athlete to handle a loss? Because loss is one of the hardest things that an athlete can experience, and it can affect, like Caroline said, their future performances as well. Is there something that you do to help an athlete be able to at least face how to come face to face with their loss?
Okay, that was hard, really. I was in 1 or 2 athletes. They usually has their goals, but they said only, silver medal and
below what they had in mind, right?
So that's very frustrated about it. And I used to sit beside them, like being there for them.
Yeah.
And I said that it's okay. Now you lose, but there is still some competition you can go. Okay, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And sometimes they said like, okay, but Dian, I want to, like, I didn't feel like today. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. Can you help me? It's like 2 a.m. They call me and 4 a.m. and then oh my God, but I need hypnotherapy. Please help me. And then okay, I'll say, okay, I will call you. Okay, and then I give the instruction to make them sleep better, do some relaxation, and so on.
It is like a heartbreak. So it seems like I felt it's so easy for us, a sports enthusiasts that like to watch either competitions or whatnot, and it's so easy for us to say, how come you didn't win? It seems that you can, the ball was right there, you should have done that, why is it an air ball? But then for them on the court, they, especially for like, let's say Olympics or SEA Games, they have been training for like a year for that. And then when they lost, it doesn't mean that they didn't do their best. It's just, in sports, it's win or lose.
Well, I've been
someone
on-
would lose, someone would win.
Yeah, no, I've been on both sides of the coin, not as high as SEA Games, but I've been through competitions at a younger age where I did like place second. And in my mind, I had such a negative attitude. I was a sore loser. I would
Right.
basically say, well, second is the first loser, right?
Yeah.
Like, that attitude.
Yeah.
And we didn't have sports psychology back then. So it was the job of my coach at the time who had
Yeah.
to be my sports psychologist and say, it may not be what you expected.
That's right.
But there's mistakes that you could learn from.
Yes.
You could do things
Like
differently.
reflect
another
and
way.
growth.
Yeah, but again, there wasn't a specific person to handle my mental aspect of it. It
Yeah.
was actually just part of the physical training as well.
That's
And
right.
I'm glad they are shining a light more on this.
And sometimes it's good to hear also this kind of like situation. Then for us that likes to watch these games, you kind of have to understand also before we comment
What
on
they're
these
going through.
athletes. Yeah, because
I
we don't
agree.
know what they're going through.
Yeah.
Especially for athletes that had, let's say they didn't win because of an injury during their performance.
Okay.
So how do they, go battle in that, and how do they, try to mend their losses and to come back better in the next competition?
Okay, interesting is the athlete usually have the resilience character. So they have to be like wake up again after they fall down, and when they lose, they just like, okay, that's okay. Now, this is my bad day, but tomorrow will be better.
Yes.
Something like that. And then usually I ask them to sleep, to eat well on that day. So tomorrow, the other competition, they will be ready. But if they couldn't sleep well, I use the hypnotherapy to sleep. And then tomorrow morning, I give them some techniques again, a lot of techniques that I give them in only 10 minutes when the coach give me time to do that. And then also they are just sitting beside me and then, "Mbak Dian, I need you, please help me because I couldn't concentrate."
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this, let's do that, something
Yeah.
like that, like butterfly hug, and then do positive self-talk. So just please remember that you are here because you are a very smart athlete. You know that you have a very powerful, and so even though there will be win or lose, you are the winner for yourself. I'm so proud of you, and your family is also proud of you. Something like that. So I have to give them the support that they have it, and always repeat it to them, so they are not feel like alone and have to attend the competition by themselves.
What about that obviously could work very well in short-term injuries or light injuries, but I don't know if you guys remember Naomi Osaka. She had to take time off tennis because of mental health issues.
Yes.
Sometimes athletes find it hard to return from long-term injuries,
Yeah.
partly because mentally they're not there anymore. They're not as sharp.
Okay.
Physically, obviously, they're not as sharp. So how would you handle an athlete that is coming back from a long-term injury and having to compete back at the highest level again? Because a lot of times athletes say that that's where they struggle the most mentally because they're not as focused anymore. They are not as confident because they have been injured and they don't know if they can perform at the same level they were before. So how do you help an athlete overcome those particular challenges, long-term injury?
Okay, yeah, long-term injury, like usually long-term could be like 1 or 3 months.
Yes.
And they usually like sitting beside the court. Like,
And having to watch everyone else do it, right? Yes,
yeah,
true.
He's only watching, but
Yeah.
you want to be always to be there and still talking with the coach. And sometimes they also like cry or feel
course.
sad, something like that. And then, yeah, as a psychologist, we have to be positive energy to them. So we sit there and then I said, it's okay, you have time. This is your time to take a rest. You can watch, you also can learn something from the people around you. You can do some notes, and then you can discuss with your coach and with your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the last part, the worst thing that can happen is sometimes an athlete is so mentally frustrated that they try to rush back
Yeah.
from injury, and then they injure themselves even worse.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like it's make it or break it, right? When they come back after a long injury and
Yeah.
they felt like if I don't make it, this is it. This is the
Yeah.
end line for me.
Meanwhile, you're supposed
in
to
my
kind of like
career.
take it easy coming back.
I also ask them to do some self-imagery. Imagine themselves
Yes.
also can play again.
Yeah.
Imagine what time you can go there and play with them, and feel the audience applause.
Yeah.
I heard that is very
Something like that.
important, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
imagining yourself in game situations,
Yeah.
visualizing it.
It is just, I felt like one, I think, athlete that already passed away, and that is Kobe Bryant. I think his mentality is just so strong and like very vivid because
Yeah.
he doesn't listen. He heard of all the, the positives and the minuses and whatnot, but it builds him up, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And he has this mentality for himself, which I wish that everyone.
Unfortunately, it's only Kobe that
I
has.
know, because I do have my two
Very
sons that
few.
likes to play basketball too,
True.
and they want to be an athlete, and I want to have that kind of mentality where you have to be really strong-willed if you want to do this. Now, in regards to you, Dian, as a sports psychologist, is there any difference or differentiation between you handle a young athlete and an adult athlete? Sometimes because the problems would be varies.
Yeah.
Younger, probably because they're still in an age where they're still very, not
Invincible. A lot of young athletes feel like they're invincible.
That's right.
But they're inexperienced as well.
And for the adults, it's more of like, because I'm coming to retirement, am I ready for this? Is this going to be the end of year for me? Like those kind of things.
Yeah. For the older athlete, I said, they usually like become a senior for them and become a center.
Mentor
like,
as well.
Like the juniors see them like, oh, okay, I have to see how they react, and then I will follow them.
Oh, they have to set the example, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
something like that. So in the end, usually the older athlete can become a coach also.
Yes.
So it's like they have their shine, like the younger see them as something they can teach them.
Okay.
So I don't really worry about their relationship in there, but they're usually in the team, in the work team. They like each other, they talk, something like that, and they really listen to the elders. But the younger, usually sometimes they have low self-esteem.
Yes.
Yeah. But the elders will say like, it's okay, come on, you can do it, you can do it, something like that.
But individually, have you ever taken care of a case where he's in the high prime, but it's almost done of his age, that it's almost retirement, that he felt like his glory days, like his power syndrome, that he needs to tackle?
Yeah. He said that he will retire like very soon, but actually from the age is still young, but he takes the master's degree. So he said that I have another dream, not only as an athlete.
That's
true.
right.
And that's very, very beautiful,
That is
right?
very important.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think athlete has to make a better dream also. It's not only as an athlete, because physically, sometimes going to be older, everything, but you have to be growing up with another dream.
That's right. Yes.
And another day.
Nobody's LeBron James, by the way.
Do you remember Grant Hill?
Yes.
He was a great basketball player, but had a massive knee injury, so missed out on his potential, but he actually graduated with a law degree.
There you go.
So even though he's now a broadcaster,
Yes.
nevertheless, he has something to
Yes.
fall back on, and
Yes.
he knew that his dream could be alive in other ways.
And we see a lot of Indonesian athletes now are very bright and smart. They do a lot of business now. They're entrepreneurs.
They have their own business.
Yes,
You're right
so
about
love to see that.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we do know that this is a very important aspect in sports, not just the physical aspect, but the mental side of things. So we can hope that our athletes and all you athletes out there as well continue to take care of yourselves, not just physically, but mentally. But in the meantime, we're going to take another short break here on the program. We'd like to thank Dian for coming on for this discussion. We'll bring you more updates from around the world when we return here on the C Morning Show. Stay tuned.